All right, guys, I am live, and I figured maybe I would do it from the truck today. So hopefully this we don't have any issues with the connection here. I'm just sitting in the driveway of my house, so theoretically I'm still hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and there shouldn't be any interruptions. I wonder why I'm not seeing. There it is. There it is. There it is. Oop. There it is. Okay, so I can see that it's streaming live right now. And okay, so it looks like I might be able to see the chat. Last time I couldn't see the chat. If anyone was actually watching, I don't believe anyone's, a large amount of people are going to be watching this live. But if anyone does hop on while I'm recording this, feel free to put some questions in the chat. But I thought that for the next several weeks or so, instead of doing a formal video where I release it on Saturday, I thought that on Sunday evenings around dinner time, I would just go live for a little bit and talk about something on my mind. And in this case, I forget who it was. There was a subscriber that last week's video, when I had asked for some suggestions as to what you guys want to see videos on, they put that they would like to see possibly some, videos on accessories and whatnot. And I thought that this week I would talk a little bit about accessories and, what's popular, what accessories are popular, what accessories you guys are putting on your trucks. So I'll give you the background behind, if you haven't watched all my videos and seen some of the videos where I do talk about the accessories. As soon as I got my truck, I had planned to obviously get the tonneau cover, and you'll see. Ooh, I think I'm experiencing some buffering. Hold on one sec. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. This could be a failure. It appears to be recording on my phone, but when I'm looking at it on the computer here, which it shows full bars, is not. So if for some reason I cut out, it is what it is. But anyway, so the bed cover, I've linked that in the descriptions of most of my videos where you can buy that undercover Ultra Flex bed cover. I needed a bed cover solution that would be, have more safety and keep people out. Not to say that I live in any more dangerous or less dangerous of a place than anyone else does in the United States, but on our cameras around here, we occasionally pick up people pulling on our door handles, looking for, the easy score of whatever change or whatever valuables we might left behind. So, heaven forbid things could happen worse. And obviously, that someone on our street who owns an F-150 had their catalytic converters jacked off their car. So, just in abundance of caution, I generally don't keep anything of value in the bed. But even if I did, it would be difficult for someone to get in there because of the type of cover that I chose. I also like the functionality of the trifold cover. I think it's, I think it's a good solution for utility and getting in and out of there, and then being able to fully utilize the bed if and when you need it. You can take it off pretty quickly, or you can fold it all the way up, and then there's little bars that you position. You can go back and check out that video. So that was the one thing that I actually bought that before the truck was delivered, knowing that I would want to have that ready to go. So that's probably one of the biggest things that people think about when they order a truck is they want something to likely cover the bed. I can't say that I would ever want one of those full enclosures that people have, but I can see the benefit of that depending on how you're going to use your truck. If you're going to do overlanding or anything like that, it might be nice to have that as a little makeshift shelter. Some of the other things that I think if you're going to overland, the bed drawers, I've seen a lot of people use those in terms of keeping things organized back there, having little makeshift kitchens and propane burners and whatnot that are easily able to tuck away back into the bed there, and you can still put things on top of the drawer systems that are back there. I don't have any intention to do any of that, so I wouldn't say that I'm going to have I'm going to be going out buying those anytime soon. But I think that there's lots of people out there that might. Um, anyway, getting back to what I did, I bought the bed cover before I got the truck. After I got the truck, I then realized that I wanted to have the wheel well liners installed in the back, just because I was noticing a lot of rocks and dirt and mud were kind of, kicking back up into that area. And I figured, you know what, that should probably be protected a little bit more than it is. I think that over the long run would be a good investment to make. And it was relatively inexpensive. I think that was less than $200, and I was able to put them in myself. And then also, even to further keep things from kicking up and going into the side, and maybe keeping the side of the truck free from rock chips and excess dirt, I got the front and the rear splash guard, I guess mud flap type things. They're not full on mud flaps, but they do help keep the mud from spraying up, and also in the winter, snow and whatnot. So those were the things that I accessorized the truck with. I did not do the antenna, which is another easy accessory that a lot of people do. Some people absolutely loathe the fact that this comes with a really tall antenna. To me, it doesn't matter. I don't. I know part of the reason they do it is it's a little bit taller than the height of the truck. So if you're going into some parking garages, you might be able to avoid that situation. But I think most parking garages are gonna have clearance for a pickup of this nature. Other accessories that I think maybe people tend to pick up that I've seen that I don't have on my truck, that I question whether or not I should get, especially during summertime, is the bug deflector in the front. I don't like the aesthetic of a bug deflector. I think that it kind of looks a little dorky sometimes, but I've seen some lower profile ones that I wonder if they work just as well for keeping the bugs off the windshield, because I do get a lot of bugs on the windshield. There's really nothing you can do to keep them off the grill. It's a pain, and they really can cake on there, and you really have to stay on top of it in the summer. Otherwise, you have, especially on my chrome bumpers, you notice those the bug guts and all sorts of innards that kind of dry on there, especially in the heat of the summer. Even furthering that is you have the little kind of rain guards that go along the top of the windowsill here, so you can crack your window a little bit like this, even when it's raining, and still have some fresh air coming through if you want to. I think that I've seen more people who utilize that are more smokers, and I'm not a smoker, nor would I let anyone smoke in my truck. Not to say, I don't think you should smoke, but that's your choice. And if you do, that might be a nice accessory for you to have. I know there's people who got the XLT who prefer a leather seating surface. I'm in the camp where I had got a Lariat, of course, and they come standard with leather seating with heated and cooled seats. But I'm in the camp where if I got an XLT, I would be perfectly happy with the heated or with the cloth seats. I don't need leather. I actually don't prefer leather, but I know some people will, after the fact, on their XLTs, will upgrade and get the leather seating. I think some of the I forget those performance packages that you can get installed by the dealer with the factory lifts at Roush and all those other ones. Forgive me, I don't remember all the names. I'm sure you guys know the names, but I think that those types of kits, they automatically do leather seating in those, even if it's based on an XLT. The truck is actually an XLT, and they've just modded it and raised the price because they've added all the the branded accessories on there. But I guess that's a way to get a factory lifted truck with a warranty and not have to really necessarily worry about an aftermarket warranty. Well, I don't know. Is that an aftermarket warranty? It might be an aftermarket warranty, but at least it's coming from the dealer that you bought it from. And you can feel a little bit more confident that if something went wrong, you could take it there and they would be able to help you and not have to take it to a different spot. On top of that, so other accessories that I've seen people get, sometimes it has to do with, let's say you have an older model F-150 and you don't like the headlights. You don't like the halogen headlights. I've seen people on the older styles actually retrofit the LEDs in there, which I know on my license plate holder in the back, they came from the factory as halogen, the only bulbs on the exterior that were halogen. And that was one of the things that I guess upgraded. It was very inexpensive and very easy to do, especially if a dummy like me could do it. In terms of the interior, there's lots of storage solutions in the back that I know a lot of people utilize. And once again, this might depend on your use for the truck. If you're someone who's carrying around a lot of tools and you don't have one of those little storage chests, lockable storage chests in the back for that stuff, you might have an organization solution in the back cab here underneath the seats. You can obviously opt from the factory one of the Ford licensed organizers under the seat there, which I did not do. So that kind of brings up another good question is, are you someone who prefers to look for a Ford or whatever brand truck it is or vehicle it is? Do you prefer to look for factory OEM accessories, or do you like to eschew those and you like to look in the aftermarket because you think that there's better quality and people are doing things better in the aftermarket on a lot of these? I think I'll admit that my splash guards and the wheel well liners were the factory ones, even though there exists aftermarket solutions for those, because it's obviously a very easy part for someone once they get their hands on one of these trucks to figure out, how they need to design the part and then make it. But I would say that, I kind of like the bed cover that I got more than the factory trifold bed cover that Ford makes. The one that I've seen that comes direct from the factory, that's the hard trifold tonneau cover, is a little thicker. It doesn't have as low of a profile as the undercover Ultraflex that I got, and that's part of why I like it, because it kind of it's a little lower on top of the side of the bed, and maybe even a little lighter as a result of it as well too. I think it's just as sturdy and secure. You can put, I think, up to 300 pounds on it. Not to say that you'd want to be walking around on a regular basis, but when we had a bunch of snow, and I can't park in a garage because my garage is too small, but when we had a bunch of snow, I was actually kind of up standing around. I'm not the heaviest of guys, but I was up there standing around, kind of walking around to get some of the excess snow off of the bed cover, because I worried a little bit that the weight of the snow and the ice on there was maybe a little bit more than the actual load capacity of what that could take, and I didn't want there to be any damage. And then also to get the snow off of the actual the roof of the cab as well too. It was easier to access there. So yeah, I mean, I would say that I like the aftermarket solution there, and I know there's most of the other things that you can get. There's either the factory part or there's the aftermarket part. Like, I do eventually want to get some swing cases, or at least one swing case for the passenger side in the back bed there, because it doesn't interfere with the Pro Power system in the bed as much if you have it on that side, just for a little extra spot to throw some things, some bits and bobs, as people over in the UK might say. The truck has plenty of storage in the cab here, so I have have things all over the place, especially in this cavernous center console. I wonder, I'm just now looking at, because I have my foldable work surface here when you can option that on from the factory. I wonder if there's going to eventually be an aftermarket solution for that, for those that can option that on, because it just involves you, as long as you get this center console orientation and not the jump seat, you can actually just retrofit the lid of this thing. Just replace it with that, because all the ones with the center console have that feature where the shift lever will fold down, whether you have this foldable work surface or lunch surface or whatever you want to call it, little mini desk in the center of the truck. All of them have that that option for the shift lever to flip down. So I wonder if there's a company out there right now thinking of what they can do to come up with a solution, because I did see another video of a guy. It was two F-150s, and one of them he was selling and one of them he just bought. And the one that he had just bought did not come with the foldable work surface, but the one that he had that he was selling, and I forget why he was selling it. It was something, some specific reason that really doesn't matter. But he actually took the work surface out of the one he was selling and swapped it with the one that he got, just so he could have that feature. So obviously it can be done, and he figured out a way for it to be done. Yeah, so I wonder if there's going to be a company out there that's going to be doing that. That's kind of cool. I apologize if anyone is in here watching this. I don't know if the if the reception is any good where I'm at right now. I'm just kind of throwing this at the wall, and I don't see anything in the chat. If anyone says anything in the chat, and I apologize, I don't see it. Maybe one day I'll figure out how this whole thing works, but as of right now, this is just, it is what it is. But I think that I kind of like picking a topic every week and discussing it. At least for now, it's a little bit easier for me than actually having to film a whole video and edit it and put it together. Maybe this is a little bit of a cop-out, but maybe if enough people hop on to these and I can see the chat eventually, then we can actually just have a live discussion about whatever you guys are thinking about. It doesn't even have to be about the F-150. It can be about other truck brands. Are you shopping other truck brands? Certainly, obviously, the theme of today's video is accessories. What accessories have you added to your F-150? What accessories do you plan to add to your F-150? What accessories do you think are stupid, that when you see someone with them, you're like, why does anyone have that? That's one of the dumbest things in the whole wide world. I can't say that I have any accessories that I outright loathe or hate, but one of the things I don't necessarily like is when people lift their trucks, the wheels that are just almost seem not functional. They're just and this is a whole culture that I'm not a part of, and I'm not saying it, like, don't do it. I'm not saying if you do it you're stupid. I just don't get it, and I wouldn't spend my money on it. And I think a lot of it for me is because, my videos, I talk about miles per gallon all the time. I just look at those trucks and I go, they've got to be getting such horrible gas mileage. And that's just the practical person in me. Maybe if I was independently wealthy, had all the money in the world, I probably would go down the road of just doing crazy things like that to my truck. But I'd rather spend it on that money on traveling the world or whatever. It doesn't really matter. We all have our own likes and dislikes. And like I said, if you do that, that's one of the things that I think is, I would never spend my money on, unless I had a whole bunch of it. So anyway, I guess that's it. So if you're seeing this, I think almost everyone's going to be seeing this after the fact, if you do indeed watch it. I thank you guys once again. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It does not look like it's going to happen, but I'm still here. I'm still doing this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.